Do you have the need that you constantly have to be busy? Do you feel like you're constantly doing things and you feel like resting or relaxing is really making you uncomfortable? If so, this video is definitely for you. Hello everyone, my name is Sylvia Kuchena. I'm psychotherapist and founder of Horizon Mental Health Clinic. So let's talk about keeping busy, being busy all of the time. Why do we have this need? What is underneath of that behavior, and where is it coming from, and how to fix this? This is exactly what we will cover today. We are living in a very fast-paced lives. Everything needs to be done very quickly. We are very impatient. When we want something for yesterday, not now, not tomorrow. We need to do and keep doing things. And there's such a constant rush in us. We feel very much tense without even realizing that we are tense. Why? Where all of this is coming from? Why all of the sudden feeling relaxed or taking it easy, slowing down, feels like luxury, feels like, oh my God, I actually need to make some time to do nothing and just being. Have you ever wondered why you constantly have to, or you're telling yourself that you have to do things in order for you to relax? It's like you need to earn before you can actually relax. Why? And where is this coming from? This is a mask. This is those behaviors when we really, keep ourselves busy. We exhaust ourselves before we can slow down, where we feel like we need to earn slowing down. This is coping mechanism. This is your survival mode. But underneath that, there is something that we really are masking. We are masking deep wound, deep feeling that we are not good enough. And majority of us, and including myself, that was a long time ago when I wasn't even aware of it as well, we are busy. We constantly feel like we need to do something, and because number one, we are afraid of slowing down. We are afraid that, oh my God, people will judge us. What they will think if they will see us sitting on the couch doing nothing and there's dishes in the sink? What if the neighbors? What if our children? What if the partner comes in and see the house not to the perfect spot? It will be spotless. Oh my God, what will they think? So rather than living the life you want, we are constantly thinking and doing things for other people in a way of what they will think of us. So there is a deep fear of being judged. And when we're being judged, they might not like us, they might reject us, they might abandon us. So in a way to mask that how we really feel and the fear of being left alone, being abandoned, being rejected, being judged, what we do, we constantly keep busy. So from work, cleaning, from the tiniest things really, we make this to be such a big deal. We can't sit and watch our favorite movie because the floors are not mopped, because the dog made some kind of dirt, and now we can't relax until this is cleaned and done. There's one cup, oh my God, this one cup can't stay there for another hour. We need to clean it straight away. At work, we keep taking on new projects. If someone needs help, we are the first one to say, oh, I will help you. I do this. Yes, no problem. I will take that file. Yes, give me that. I done it for you. It's constant and it's everywhere. Why? Why do we do that? Because deep down we have the need to be accepted. We have the need to be liked. We have the need from others to think that we are great. So in a way, when we are so busy in that behavior, we're looking for validations. We want others to tell us how great we are. We want others to think how good hard worker we are. We want others to tell us what we can't tell ourselves. We want other people to think of us and have us in a high regard. We want them to respect us, even though we are not respecting ourselves, our own body, our health, our needs. We are completely dismissing that. When you're constantly busy and you're doing things, you forget to be. And interestingly, being feels like a wrong thing. Just being? What do you mean, like, just be? Like, are you crazy? What do you mean, just be? We have to do something. We have to let people know that we are worthy, that we are good, that our company means something. We need to show them how great we are from outside. But deep down, do you feel great? When you keep doing so many things, and for yourself, and for others, and to not be judged, do you really feel great? Yes, you do. When? When they will praise you, when they will comment, oh my God, you're such a good worker. Oh my God, the house is spotless. How do you do this? Have kids and job and the house, it's so good. Oh my God, like I could never do that. And the ego in you is just, oh yes, give me more. Exactly. And then, but what you do? Oh no, you minimize it. Don't be silly. Oh, you could do it as well. No problem. Stop for a second. Do you see how this is, number one, exhausting you? You're completely dismissing yourself, your needs. But at the same time, do you feel like you own your life, or do you feel like you're constantly doing things on autopilot? To please, to mask, to avoid feelings of, I don't feel good enough in myself. So I'm doing all of this to mask my deep wound that I'm not good enough. We have the need to prove ourselves. We have the need to constantly showing others and ourselves maybe that we are worthy of something. And interestingly, we don't even know what that something is. So really, we are living in a very conditional life. If you do this, then you get this. If I do this, then I can relax. If the house will be spotless, then I can sit down. If I, take extra projects in work, maybe then my boss will like me. It's constant. What? If you do this, I do that. If I will do this, then I get this. It's constant. It's like life becomes transactional. Everything what we do, there is hidden agenda of getting something back. Hiding. You're masking your feelings, masking your needs, not telling them, oh my God, thank you very much. I was hoping you will tell me I'm such a great housewife, because I couldn't tell this myself. So I was hoping when you come for a coffee and you will praise me. Like, let's be honest, we don't have those kind of conversations with our friends. We mask it. We pretend. But basically, and often we do pretend because we are not even aware that we are doing this. And that's the biggest problem. Because when you know why you're doing things, what's behind, you're not autopilot, you have some kind of self-awareness and reflecting on your own behaviors, on your own feelings, then you can stop it. But when you're constantly in it, without even realizing that you're doing this, how can you change this if you're not aware? Until you're aware, then you can change something. So, how often do you want to keep going like this? For how long more do you want to live your life like it's not your own? It's difficult to stop it. Is it impossible though? No, it's very much possible. When we're constantly busy, what kind of needs do we really meet? What kind of our needs do we meet by constantly being busy? We have the need to be liked. We have the need to be accepted. We have the need to be needed. We want others to need us. We want to feel like we are useful. We want and we will please others, completely neglecting our own needs. So we feel like we have some kind of sense of belonging. So when we know someone needs us, automatically we will feel important. Automatically we will feel like we're, unreplaceable. So that is very special situation. That is very special role to have. No one can do the things that the way we do it. No one is as good at this as we are. And this really comes to, especially to mothers, to parents, when we have so much wound in us. We deep down feel not good enough. We are afraid of being alone. And then we have this role of mother, of being a parent, and we completely neglected our own lives. And all of our existence is based on being the mother. But our children are growing, and from 1-year-old, very needy 1-year-old, very needy 3-year-old, we have a 12-year-old child who's not as needy. So what does that do to us? We completely panicking. We're losing. Oh my God, they will not need us anymore. Who am I then? So rather than using this time of coming back to yourself, connecting to yourself, what do? We concentrate on the children even more. We pull them back. We don't allow them to grow. We don't allow them to find their own identity. We don't allow them to feel comfortable in their own skin. We will guilt trip them. We will manipulate them. Why? Because deep down, you're completely disconnected from who you are. So your existence really is dependent on them. You don't want to be that kind of parent. And you don't want to be someone who's completely losing themselves. You can stop that. And then this is the time where you need to get busy with your own life, with your own feelings. This is the time where you need to start reflecting on your own self. Who are you without those different roles? Who is that person you look at every morning in the mirror? What does he or she want? Who is it? Who is she or who is he? Do you like her? Do you recognize her? Can you say that you're proud of yourself? Why not? Why not? We take so much out of external things. When we lack something, we're looking for those things that we're lacking from outside. We never go deep inside. We never connect. We never even think, wait a second, I'm actually lacking something here. So how can I, what do I need? How can I connect with myself? We don't do that. I feel sad, quick, fix this, shopping. Yeah, we'll go shopping. I will buy some nice pair of shoes. Absolutely, immediately I will feel something, good about myself. So the sadness, no, I can't feel sad. Another emotion, anger. Oh my God, I can't be angry. Oh, I'm crazy. We'll run. We'll just go for a run and quickly and as fast as I can. So I get the anger out of my system and I don't have to think about the anger ever again. Constant masking, constant disconnection from yourself. We are very much afraid of being vulnerable, but this is not as simple as adulthood and all those behaviors, because I'm just giving you those examples of how we adults are behaving without even realizing where is the root of that and what exactly needs to be healed. All of this is coming back to your own childhood experiences, to your own childhood wounds. When we mask, when we feel disconnected, when we don't know who we are, when we feel like you completely lost yourself, when you're constantly trying to be perfect, people pleasing, when we're trying to constantly being busy and the need for the external validations, when we're constantly looking for things that we can do for others so we can feel good about ourselves, hoping that someone will see us, hoping that someone thinks of us like we're great, hoping that we will feel needed and useful. But all of this is autopilot. All of that is just a coping mechanism, something that you have learned as a result of something else. This is just a small percentage of what is going on deep, deep down inside you. This is coming back to completely lost and disconnected your own inner child. How? Why? Yes, I feel like I lost my inner child. I don't know how to connect. Before we go to the how and how to fix this, let's just stop for a second. Let's just think for a second. And ask yourself, what happened to you? Why did you lose that connection between yourself and your inner child? Where is the connection between the adult you and the child you? Where is it? It's easy to put on a mask. It's easy to constantly avoid things. It's easy not to reflect, not to think, to suppress your emotions. It's easy. But just because it's easy doesn't mean you're going to have easy life. The paradox of that is it's easy to do it and constantly being in that mode, but the life you're creating for yourself is going to be very, very difficult life. On the contrary, when you do some kind of reflection and connection with yourself, that process is not going to be easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. But then the life you would create as a result of that is going to be very easy life, very joyful life, very happy life. So let's look now at the inner child needs and the deep wound that we have from not feeling good enough and where all of this is coming from. So when you were a child, you had, of course, your emotions, the same emotions that you have as an adult. But how those emotions were looked after? Who allowed you to feel? Who allowed you to name them for you? Who allowed you to help you understand what was really happening for you when you were so young? You felt everything the same way you would feel today, but you wouldn't have the understanding you have now. Usually what happens is that when a young child has so many emotions, but the parent is not attuned with their own emotions, what happens then is that the child is actually triggering the parent. So instead of the parent being attuned with the child's emotions, rather than the parent trying to hold the emotions for the child and see, okay, this is what you feel, this is what made you feel this way, and this is how we deal with it. Usually when this is ideal world, okay? But what usually happens is you will get punished if you will get too angry because your parents maybe don't know how to understand or how to deal with your anger. So as a child, you've been punished for feeling angry. Or when you were sad, they would try to cover this up, or they would not allow you really to feel you. So you didn't create a space in your own mind where feelings were something safe, where feelings were something to help you and guide you through what was happening. Instead, you've been punished. You've been punished for feeling. You were punished for showing your emotions. You were punished for being real and authentic. So as a small child who was completely disconnected from your own feelings, what was happening in those situations is that you believed that the minute you would start to feel something, the minute the emotions would come, to the surface, that wasn't safe. So you had to learn to suppress your emotions and to become what you thought was expected from you to be. Because you had a choice. Be real, be authentic, feel what you wanted and what you felt at the time, or suppress them and be the way you believed you needed to be in order to get accepted from your parents, in order for them to help you, to love you, for you to feel safe with them again. So this is how the disconnection really is happening in life. This is how we as adults struggling with our emotions and how to even deal with them. Because we didn't have space. We didn't have room to deal with our emotions. Emotions were something that we would avoid at all costs. Because if we would show emotions, if you would be real, if you would be authentic, we would then experience very conditional love from our parents. So the choice was easy, wasn't it, for a young child? Okay, I just have to neglect this. This is not important. This is not what I meant to feel, or better not to feel this. So then mommy and daddy can love me. Then they can accept me. Then I will be saving them. I will make them feel better. I will do everything what they need me to do so they can feel better. And when they feel better, I will feel better. When they feel they're looked after, then maybe then they could look after me. Or I will look after them, so they will be happy. They're happy, I'm happy. Do you see how much this connection that creates? The dynamic, the family dynamic gets meshed up. You with your feelings are completely lost. There's no sense of self. Basically, you exist for others. You exist and you surviving because you're constantly looking out for other people. And how many times as a child, when you tried to rest, when you tried to be a child and play and didn't work hard, how many times you've been judged that you're lazy? How many times you've been told that you didn't do enough? How many times that you did this and I was at work for so many hours and you're telling me you're tired? All of this is impacting us. All of this is being somehow programmed in your subconscious mind. But that doesn't have to be your life sentence. You can heal it, you can change it, you can start working on how you feel. Just because it happened in the past doesn't have to rule your future, doesn't have to be the end goal, be all for the rest of your life. You can change this by healing, by connecting with yourself. And all those situations, those scenarios I was talking about today, this is not for you now to use it against your parents or your grandparents, the caregivers. That's not the case. Because blaming won't fix anything. Blaming won't save you. Blaming or pointing fingers, this is because of you, I'm like this. This kind of attitude won't change anything in your life. If anything, it actually disempowers you because it puts you back to the victim mode. Because of this, I'm like this. Okay, but where is the responsibility? You're an adult now, so that means you can change it. And the more and the quicker you realize it, the easier it will be for you to change the whole survival patterns, for you to get out of that mentality that you can't do anything. You can. So the first key to change is self-awareness. When we don't know what to change, we can't change because we don't know even where to start. Now that you have the awareness, you know where to start. You know how this works. So that means you can change. So self-awareness is the key. The second step is then to accept. Accept that yes, the past happened. Yes, it was the way it was. Yes, it have hurt me. Yes, I didn't realize it before, but yes, it happened. So acceptance. Not try to fight it, not try to change it, not try to blame it. Just accept that this is what it was. And then the third step to change this is to take ownership of your own life, of your own actions. Don't be in your childlike mode. Don't allow your wounded inner child to play out. Get out yourself out of that survival mode where you don't feel alive. You're just existing. Every day feels like a battle. Every day it's like you're fighting and you're struggling for life. That is not life. That is just surviving every single day. And when you take responsibility for yourself, when you start taking ownership of how you feel, of how your needs and how you think, that will shift, and that will start to shift your perceptions of who you are, what you can and what you cannot do. So every time you will start telling yourself, I have to continue doing this, I have to be busy, I have to clean before I can rest, I have to take the next project, I have to be liked, I need to be liked, I need them to like me, to accept me, to praise me, to thank me, to notice me. This is where you stop. And it's like, this is the need of my inner child. What it would be like if I just allow myself to let go of the distractions, and I would really ask myself, what do I really need? What does my inner child needs right now? What do I need as an adult? And how can I meet my own needs? Oh, you need to clean so you can feel safe, and you need to do this and then do that, and then you can rest, and then you'll be all good. Survival mode. You're in survival. It won't change anything because you're back to square one. This is about relationship with yourself. What can you give yourself that will feel good? Shopping! We can buy extra shoes. Oh my God, I will look after myself. I got something for myself. Isn't that amazing? I really feel like I would really need this, or I would really want that. No, because as a child, you don't need loads of different things to be happy. Shopping is just another distraction, another survival mode, another coping mechanism that you learned how to cope with your uncomfortable emotions. How about staying and being with yourself? How about just listening to yourself? What kind of emotions do you have? How about slowing down and take a nice sip of your tea and just allow yourself to taste? Or even think, how many people had to work for you to have this tea right now? So there was leaves on the tree. Someone had to pick them up. Someone had to dry them. Someone had to put them to the bag, then to the packages. Someone had to ship them. Someone else had to drive them to the shop. Loads of people. So you could have this moment for yourself to drink your favorite tea. We don't appreciate what we have because we're constantly in the survival. We're constantly running away. But when we're running away from our feelings, what we really do, we are running away from our lives. We're running away from our feelings. We're running away from ourselves. We're running away from who we meant to be. You can never really connect with yourself. You can never really fully know yourself until you stop, connect, and start feeling yourself and listening to yourself. Remember, only you can hear your own thoughts. Only you know what is really happening inside you. If you're not listening to yourself, who else can or who else will? I'm sure you have heard that there's never too late to have a happy childhood. That's exactly what that statement, exactly what it exactly means is that you can look after your own needs. You can reparent your inner child. You can start looking after yourself and be more aware of what is happening for you. It takes courage to connect with yourself. It takes courage to really sit with yourself and just observe. No judging, no criticizing. Instead, observing with kindness and understanding. There was time in my life when I was very, very busy. Very busy wife, very busy mother, very busy student. I had different roles in my life that I believed I had to fulfill to the very high standard. And as a result, I was constantly busy. I was always doing something. I forgot how to play. I forgot how to take joy. Everything was a task. Everything was just a mission. Something that, I was keep ticking boxes. What's the next step? If I only do this, then I can relax. And then the reality was that another list pop up and something else comes out. Something else just had to be done. So I could never really be. And until I started to work on myself, until I started to realize that I was striving for perfection. I always tried to be perfect. I always tried to behave in a way that no one could or would judge me. But this is my own, that was my own stuff. That was my own childhood wounds. But again, it happened because deep down, I had a huge wound of not feeling good enough. I didn't accept myself. I couldn't sit with my own emotions. I didn't know what I really wanted or who I really was without the mask of trying to be perfect or pretend that I know it all and I got everything figured out and yes, I got this and I'm this or that. It didn't work. Instead, I felt very frustrated. I was lost. I was like, oh my God, what will I do next? Like, this doesn't work out. Like, what else do I have to do? And then until it was pointed out to me that it's very hard to be you, I didn't understand when my therapist at the time told me like, it must be very hard to be you. I didn't understand what she was saying. When she said to me, I was very hard on myself. When she said that, this is my childhood trauma, I was really thinking that she is talking to somebody else, that she got mixed up with her clients. Like, I'm not sure if you are actually getting me here. I'm talking to you about this. This was my norm. This is normal. And then someone is telling you, no, it's not. This is trauma. No, it's not. This is you not believing that you're good enough. Okay, but I'm not good enough. Fine, okay. Fine, I'm not good enough. What's the next step? What do I get to do? And she said, that's it. You don't have to do anything. So only when I started to really understand and connect with myself, only then I realized that only I can decide whether I am or I'm not good enough. As an adult, you are in charge of that. As an adult, you are deciding whether you are or not good enough, what is good enough for you and what isn't. As an adult, you know it and you can decide it. You have that power. Every time you try to please others, every time you're running away, you try to be perfect, you're masking things, you're suppressing your emotions, you avoid your reality, you avoid your life. What is really happening? You're really disempowering yourself. You take a huge step back. You're completely in survival rather than actually feeling alive and wanting to be alive and wanting to be happy. Like, you're looking for external validations for other people to like you, to have you. But let's be honest, they have their own lives to deal with. Those people that you really need and want them to accept you, they have their own struggles. They have their own emotions that they need to look after as well. They don't really have space to keep looking after your own needs. And yet, the needs that you never communicate with, the needs that you never speak about. Instead, what we often do, we expect others to read our minds. We want them to know what we think. We want them to know what we need. It's not their reality. Because people have their own lives to live as well. And you have your own life to live. Your life belongs to you. It's time for you to take the ownership of your life. Own it. This is my life. And I'm choosing to starting to feel that I am good enough. I want to start feeling good enough. Yes, as an inner child, I didn't. My wounded inner child feels lost. Me, the adult me, can look after that aspect of my psyche. I can look after myself. I can decide that I'm good enough today. If the kitchen is a mess and you want to watch your favorite episode, who's get to decide what's good enough and what's not? The kitchen fine, won't collapse, the children won't move out, husband won't leave you because you have left some kind of dirty dishes in the sink. It's enough. It's okay. Your world won't collapse. You won't collapse. It's okay. But I will be very honest, I need to keep going. I need to keep doing things. Like, how can I watch and how can I relax if I know on the back of the head is something that I still need to do. You get to decide. Okay. I'm noticing this. That's okay. I'm safe. I'm deciding this is good enough. I'm taking charge. It's okay. It's okay. Breathe. It's okay. And then you watch. But 10 minutes later, you're back in the survival. Breathe. You got this. It's okay. It's safe. It's fine. But is it really? But I don't know. It's okay. Breathe. It's fine. If you say so, okay. Breathe. I'm not saying this won't be challenging. You will be challenged. But right now, you're getting challenged every single day anyway. So the difference is, how are you actually going to look after yourself? How are you going to pay attention to yourself? How are you going to meet your needs? You are in charge. Take the ownership and don't be afraid of owning your life. It's okay to be happy. You deserve to be happy. It's okay to show yourself unconditional love. You can experience unconditional acceptance. Not based on what if or what you've done, what you have achieved. You can accept yourself the way you are now. Start with decision. Decision that you want your life back. That you're going to take the ownership of your life. And just feel how this feels. Just feel how would it feel to take the ownership, to be okay with who you want to be. Not restrictions, no any hardship, no any judgment, no fear of being criticized or rejected. because you won't reject yourself. Just feel how this would feel. Breathe. Breathe. Thank you so much for watching this. If you have any comments, feel free to comment or message me if you have any questions. I will see you next month. Bye!